I don't know about you, Naldo, but after watching this movie, I have an appreciation for the little things in life. Let's get the show rolling. Welcome to FYC Film Review. I am your host, Gagne. With me, as always, Naldo. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. That was
Did you
that
see
was
what I did
good.
there?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I that was good. All right, whatever.
I had to get one in. I
That's
love
a
you, Warwick.
Warwick,
Warwick?
Warwick, Warwick Davis. He's our boy. He's our male. He's
Yes.
a boy. We love Warwick Davis here at FYC. How's it going, everybody? What's going on, man?
Happy to be back, man. When are we gonna stop with our 80s?
This is our bread and butter. We go back to the
Yes.
80s and we love it. I mean, some of these movies don't hold up, but we love revisiting these movies and hopefully people enjoy us commenting on it. So whatever. Anyways, so yeah, we went back to the 80s again and we pulled out this gem from 1988 called Willow. Willow, this fantasy action flick. I have good memories as a kid watching this. What about you?
No, I don't really remember watching it. It's not that I
Okay.
didn't have good memories. I do remember seeing it as a kid. I feel like it's one
Yeah.
of those movies that was on HBO all the time, and that was like the only, really fancy station. And so this movie played a lot, but I don't remember seeing it in theaters. Did you see it in theaters?
I did not. No, I grew up
Okay.
with it, watching it on TV. So I probably watched it on HBO as well. We should have been watching HBO, by the way.
No.
But I have good memories of this. It's not like my favorite movie, but there's some stuff that I used to quote with my brothers on it. So
Okay.
rewatching this, I wanted that feeling back, and I got a little bit of it. But as an adult, there's some parts that just didn't hold up very well. But there's some parts for me, at least, because I grew up with it. It still went well for me.
Yeah, there's from not remembering it, I feel like I know all the elements. Like you mentioned, 88, George Lucas wrote the story.
George Lucas, Star Wars.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ron Howard, good director, like knows how to
yeah,
direct films early on in his career.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
James Horner's score, if you didn't recognize it, they used this score in so many trailers in the 80s. So much so that MGM was getting paid royalties for this score being used in other trailers.
Really? That's
Yeah,
weird.
10K
Okay.
a pop.
Huh.
So if it sounds familiar, it's probably because it's from another preview that you've seen. But
Interesting.
I don't know. It's not my favorite of the like 80s popular fantasy films of Labyrinth and I don't know, Dune, Kroll, Excalibur, whatever you will.
Legend.
Enjoy it, Legend.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It doesn't. I don't have those moments where like I've memorized lines.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you grew up in the 80s, you know that and during the 80s, there was this time period where there was just these weird fantasy movies that came out, like you were mentioning. And I think these movies, for me, they're not great movies, but watching as a child, they're bigger than life. There's so many things coming at you in this fantasy world, and I think that's what made them so special. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't like all of them. I'm not a fan of Never Ending Story. Sorry, I'm not. I can't stand that movie.
I think we've talked about that.
Yeah, but these movies do something to you as a child, and I think we bring those memories back as adults. So let's get right into it. Director, like you mentioned, Ron Howard; producer, George Lucas; and one of our favorites, James Horner, which, by the way, we just did a movie with Ron Howard and James Horner in The Grinch Stole Christmas, which is kind of crazy.
I forgot that Horner did the score for that. Okay.
Yeah.
And it also is our second Tony Cox film. He of Me, Myself, and Irene fame and Bad Santa. And but
The limo driver and
yes,
myself and Irene for
absolutely
everybody. Yeah, he's great. He doesn't have a line in it though. I don't think he talked. I was waiting.
I think he says like
talk.
one thing in the very, very beginning, and then yep, that's it.
Oh,
Poor
okay.
guy.
I'm a fan of Warwick Davis. I've
Yes.
seen several of his films, and I'm a fan of Warwick Davis. I think the relationship he has with his wife in this is very, I don't know, it's very pure and very sweet.
Mhm.
I like the elf goods. Is that what they call them? The elf
Mhm.
goods. I don't know. I like that whole storyline in the village and their town. I like how it starts out. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of that whole
Yeah, apparently George
storyline.
Lucas is too. It's like he cast Warwick as an Ewok in Return of the Jedi, and then wrote a whole movie for him. So I was impressed with how good Warwick is. He's 17 years old in this movie, and he
Is he
leads this
17?
movie. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he is so young and yet
Yeah.
so good. Like I was blown away. So that honestly, out of the entire movie, was like, wow, like for him to lead a movie like this, when like you got Val Kilmer and like he's not the lead, like
Yeah.
I was impressed.
Yeah, and speaking of Val Kilmer, I love seeing Val Kilmer in this. I think it's great. You think of Val Kilmer in a lot of things like Top Gun, and what else? Kiss Kicks Bang Bang. But a lot of people forget that he was in Willow, and I think he kind of, he plays a good swordsman. He's funny, and he's captivating. I love Val Kilmer. I'm a big fan of Val Kilmer. Always will be. So
Yeah, very
huge
much
fan.
the Han Solo role. It feels like in
Yeah,
in this. Obviously, there's differences. It's not like it's Star Wars, but it
yeah.
got that feel to me. That character.
Yeah, this whole movie reminds me a lot of Lord of the Rings in a
Hmm.
way. When they go out, it's like Migosh and Willow or Frodo and
Hmm.
Sam. Although Migosh leaves him, and
Yeah, you've got the befriending of like the older wizard,
yeah,
who kind of
Gandalf.
leads. Yeah, who wants to lead him on? Yeah, that's a lot of similarities.
Well, that
George.
yeah, the wizard in this was a little too much for me. Almost it was like it was a fake wizard. I didn't like it. It was fake. It was a
You
fake
like
wizard.
the finger trick, the
No,
test? No,
no, no,
I
no, no,
wish
no,
tests
no.
were that easy. If I could pass the test by guessing how many fingers, I'd be satisfied if I wasn't picked. I'm like,
Okay.
I was wrong.
What'd
One
you
in five
what'd you think?
chance.
What'd you think of the brownies?
They're okay.
Just okay. Okay, they're
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, they're funny. They have their moments. Who's one of them? Kevin Pollak, right?
Yeah, Kevin Pollak.
I
Career
love
of
him. I think he's, yeah, good comedian, like good performance. But I just, there's a lot of good to this movie. There's some good special effects, some good
Okay.
performances, but it feels like it's rushed yet long, and yet it just doesn't feel like it's very well put together. And I don't know who to put that on. There are enjoyable moments, but as a whole, I don't love this movie.
Okay. All right. I mean, it's enjoyable. It's a fun ride. It's a fun fantasy ride. You can't expect much from it. I mean, but it is George Lucas, so I do feel George Lucas in this movie a lot.
Yeah.
I think it was fun. I think George Lucas did a good job writing. I like the direction. I like the characters. I love the way it looked, and it's just a fantasy '80s movie. So it's what it is, and it's fun. It's got Val Kilmer, for God's sake.
Val has a lot of fun with this role, and so
Yeah.
he's a lot of fun to watch as well. And fun fact, he ended up marrying what's the,
Sorsha.
yeah, they were married in real life. So
Yeah, fun fact right there. There you go. That one's free, people. I, I don't know. The trolls. Those trolls in the at the end battle scene. I think that was his brother. That was Clint Howard. Was one of the trolls in it. But
oh, nice.
yeah, as a kid, those trolls used to scare the crap out of me.
Yeah,
The dragon.
it's a darker film that I guess is made for kids. But again, in the 80s, I feel like we got all kinds of this kind of stuff.
Yeah, we
Dark
ate it up.
Crystal. Yeah, I mean, there was just every studio had one coming out every few months. It felt like
Yeah.
a comic book movie now, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I don't got much other than a rating here. What do you think?
All right, let's rate it. 1 to 5. Let's go with brownies. 1 brownie, really bad. 5 brownies, really good and delicious. I love a good brownie. So I'm gonna let you go first because it seems like you have an issue with this movie. So go ahead.
Not so much an issue as I don't. We got into this one because they now on Disney Plus have the Willow show out, and so it looked good. I actually thought the previews looked good for it. Got me excited to rewatch this. Man, there must be something I'm missing, and I felt hollow. It felt like I just didn't fall in love with the characters. I don't have a love for it like I did, like a lot of people do for being a kid, and seeing it then. I kind of got to like a 2, maybe a 2 brownies. I just didn't have a lot of fun watching it.
Wow, look at you,
Yeah.
party pooper to
I
the
know.
max. Okay, two brownies. Is that what you
2
went with?
brownies.
You
That's
suck.
all there were in the movie, right? 2 brownies.
2 brownies. There you go.
That's all you get.
I actually enjoy this film. I loved it as a kid. I enjoyed watching it again. There's some parts that don't hold up, but I think it's Warwick Davis steals the show. I love Val Kilmer in it. I love the whole scenery and that whole fantasy scene. It's not too much overly done like what's that stupid movie, Neverending Story, right?
Don't take shots at one of my favorites. Come
So
on.
okay, I'm gonna go with 3. 3
Okay.
brownies. One
Okay.
extra delicious brownie without nuts for me, please.
Yeah.
3 brownies. I like it. I will recommend it if you just want to watch one of those 80s fantasy movies. It's good. I like it. So it's not great, but it'll have you smiling in some parts.
There you go. You gonna watch the show?
No.
No.
I heard it got really bad reviews, and
Oh.
after giving She-Hulk, well, you know,
well, I wasn't
try.
expecting us to cover it on this show for sure, but I didn't know
Yeah.
if this maybe, rekindled the love you have for Willow, and will you continue the adventure?
Not with Disney Plus. With the 1998 film of Yes, I Will. I feel like Disney Plus is just ruining shows. But that's just me. If you like the Willow show, let us know. I can't get into it. I don't want them ruining my childhood. So
Yeah, and let me know where this ranks on your 80s fantasy film top 10, top 5.
it's
Does it
better
make
than
it?
Neverending Story.
That'll be a debate for another day. But until then, I've been your host, Gagne, with me and my partner, Naldo, and we'll catch you next time on FYC Film Review.
Have a good one, everybody. Bye.